Paszek also won a title on the WTA Tour in 2010 in Quebec City. It was their second singles title. Oh, nice from Groth. Plenty of backspin on the ball. And plenty of net clearance, but the ball kept spinning back and Paszek stranded behind the baseline. Both players keen to use the angles early. Saw that particularly with Paszek in her match against Olivia Rogowska yesterday. Struggling with the ball toss. The breeze is light at the moment. So break point now for Groth. And she gets it. Break in the opening game for Yamila Groth. And really, the unforced errors undoing Mia Paszek in that opening game. Tough for the players. Been waiting around in the locker room for a couple of hours. The opportunity to hit up was the same for the players in the day session. So Yamila now wearing the long sleeves. Saw that with Marion Bartley last night. And that is luck. Could try that 100 times and not get it. So a bit of luck for Paszek. That certainly was a feature of Yamila Groth's game against Joanna Larson yesterday. Was able to cycle through her service games. Come on from Paszek. It's an arm wrestle at the moment. So now a couple more break points. It's time for Tamira Paszek. On the double fault, giving away the break. One game all now.
Yeah, just a little bit. Little bit of space.
The umpire saying just a little bit long, which is all it has to be. That's terrific from Groth. That serve way too short from Paszek into the Groth hitting zone. Groth continuing to go to the Paszek backhands. Trying to develop that angle, force Paszek wide. Well, that's set off by the first serve from Paszek. That's terrific from Groth. Beautiful forehand cross court, had plenty of depth, plenty of power, and it brings up another 2 break points. Again, trying to take the ball early, Groth, on that first serve. It's giving you a little bit too much, just trying to step inside the baseline on the first ball. And now watch her step in on this second serve. Paszek now be forced to put a little bit more on it. And there you go, that's what happens. So another break of serve, 3 to start the match. Groth leading 2-1 in the opening sets. So Groth leading 2 games to 1. 3 breaks of serve so far in this match. Tamira now wanting to argue the point. Suggesting that there may be a mark on the court. So this is better from Groth. Rhythm going on his serve. Groth was at full stretch, way behind the baseline for that one. Just wide from Paszek. Groth holds. Consolidates the break 3 games to 1 in the opening set. Another double fault. She finished off her last service game with a double fault. She now has 3 for the match. But she's having to press just that little bit harder with Groth moving inside the baseline to receive the first and second serve. That's good again from Groth, and that's what Paszek is worried about. That's why she's pressing a little bit more on the serve. That's better. She knows she has to press for the corners. The back of the service box. Try and get past Groth, or at least force her into error. So these 3 double faults are starting to be levelled out. Her second ace. Watch again for Groth to press on this second serve. Really try to step into this ball. Oh, let Paszek back in. Groth with that forehand cross-court approach. Paszek not able to get the forehand cross-court. Ball's a little bit heavier for night tennis, but also with the conditions. It's quite cool here in Hobart again tonight. Patrick holds. Groth maybe thinking that was a fault. So we're back to deuce. We've seen that a couple of times during the tournament where players have stopped or hesitated, waiting for a call. So Paszek now with the game point. Let's see, Miller with a couple of half-court balls. It's easily put away. Just overplaying that last backhand. Oh, it's terrific again. Another clean winner from Groth. She's able to move forward. Paszek holds. Bit of a struggle in that service game. Groth still leading though 3-2 in this opening set. Now the order of play has been released for tomorrow's action at the Marilla Hobart International. And on centre court, the first match will feature Sara Errani from Italy taking on Alicia Molek. And that's followed by Ayumi Morita taking on Bethany Matek Sands. And then the night match, 7 o'clock local time, weather permitting of course. Marion Bartoli, the number 1 seed, will be back in action taking on Elena Vesnina. In some matches on the outside courts, on court 1, Roberta Vinci will continue her clash with Elena Baltasha. Vinci taking the first set earlier today in between the rain breaks, 6-3. And that'll be followed by Alberta Brianti taking on Klara Zakapalova. And then a couple of doubles matches. On court number 8, Angelique Kerber from Germany will take on Alla Kudryaseva from Russia. And that'll be followed by a match that did get underway today, but unfortunately was washed out. Olga Gorvotsova from Belarus and Peng Shuai from China. Gorvotsova leading 2-1 in the first set before the rain came. Late call from the lines person. Paszek with a great opportunity here at love 30 to get things back on level terms. Nicely finished. The swinging forehand volley from Groth. Got great court position. Kept moving forward as she hit that. Terrific again. Great ground strokes. It really has been a feature of Groth's game, particularly last year. That's nice again from Groth. Clean winners. And followed up off the first serve. Really is going for the corners of the court. We'll look to press here again. Yeah, just overplaying that backhand again. Yes. She set up the point so well, Groth. It's the second time in this game that she's done that. So close to the line. And nicely dispatched again. Oops, and a double fault. Back to deuce. Yamila is playing in the doubles event here as well with partner Klara Zakopalova. She's got a day off from doubles tomorrow. And day off from the singles as well, so it'll be busy Thursday coming up for Yamila Groth if she's able to win through here. Both players hitting the ball so hard. We saw a similar sort of thing happening in last night's match with Bartley and Safina. Interesting to see who employs any slice at all throughout this match. There's a chance to change things up. Let's take the pace off the ball. Again, a good first serve by Yamila Groth. She holds 4-2 now in this opening set. Second round action at the Marilla Hobart International. Again looking for that ball up the line. She gets in so close, and it's that first step and then across for Groth, that forehand up the line. To cut off the angle. but she really is going for every line. And again, that return from Groth so deep into the court. Paszek struggling because as soon as she serves, the ball's immediately onto her with the way that Groth is stepping into the court. Nice work by Paszek, in control of that point. And you can see with Groth having to use forehand slice a couple of times. Nice work again by Groth. You just see every shot moving forward, really going on the attack. Back to 30 all. Late call, and the linesperson obscured a little bit there by Paszek. Paszek able to counterpunch. She holds 4 games to 3. Groth leading still with a break in the first sets. So Amelia Groth still with this break, leading 4 games to 3 in the opening set. Second round action here at the Marilla Hobart International. And joining me, we always have a special guest commentator joining us. We had Elena Baltasha last night, and tonight we just go up a gear. I think the CEO of Tennis Australia, Steve Wood, who's wandered up here. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Peter. Thanks for having me.
We've been talking about the magnificent facility here in Hobart, and I just love the panoramic views. You can't see anything because it's night time, but you'll get the tour tomorrow. It's just an amazing complex.
It is fantastic here. It's a great facility and arguably the best boutique stadium for tennis in the world.
Too much there from Paszek. Well, I imagine it'd be an awfully busy time for you this time of the year, but I imagine it'd be a fun time as well.
Absolutely, yes. It's very busy for me. I've just come from Sydney today and been to Brisbane prior to that, and off to Adelaide tomorrow and back to Kooyong, and then the Grand Slam follows. So it's a very busy time.
Oh, nice again from Groth down the line. Another winner. 3 game points to go to a 5-3 lead. You're not just trying to avoid your desk at the moment so people can't find you.
Look, they can always find me. So
Groth holds 5 games to 3 now in the first sets. And really, this is the finalisation of what's been a long process here in Tasmania, but now that the facility's finished, it'll be around for a long time to come and really cementing the position of this tournament on the WTA calendar.
absolutely, and looking forward to the Fed Cup tie coming up in February. So I'm sure this quality of facility will attract more events as well, and already we're going to be playing a semi-final in the Fed Cup against Italy in February. So it's a great opportunity for Tasmanians to come out and support the tennis.
Certainly is. There have been a lot of Italian players down here checking out the facilities too, and the main draw, which is always nice. And the Fed Cup coach is down here as well.
Yes, I've seen that.
Great work from Paszek at the back of the courts. Let's spend a bit of time talking about Jarmila, who's out on court at the moment. It's been an amazing year for her. She's really great to work with, and her ranking, I think, will continue to improve in 2011.
Yeah, she's on the up and up. She's really improved in this last year off the back of a very difficult year before that due to her ankle injury. So I think she's going to keep improving. She beat Sam Stosur last week. And if she serves well, she's very dangerous.
She's also returning well, apart from that point, of course. But just such talents that we have here in Australia at the moment. Alicia Molik, who's back from retirement. She played a really good first round here, played well over at the Hopman Cup. She's always a threat in any draw. And then you've got the youngsters who are coming through. We had so many Aussie players, Aussie female players down here in Tasmania, and it's good to see that a lot of them have been awarded wildcards into the Australian Open next week too.
Yeah, we're very pleased with that. The women's program is just going from strength to strength, and it shows out in the Fed Cup with the strengths we've got in that. So, yeah, it's been really encouraging with the results of the young juniors coming through, and some of the players like Jarmila here and Alicia and Sam, and we're in a really good space with the area we are with the women.
So Paszek holds 5 games to 4, forcing Groth to serve it out as the discussion between Groth and the umpire continues. And it looks like Jarmila is asking for a coach to come out. fact, it's Paszek who's looking for a coach to arrive on court. In the meantime, Steve, I was at Melbourne Park last week, and always the transformation that occurs throughout December and into January is just amazing, and the place is looking fantastic at the moment. And really, the new redevelopment, which will really get underway this coming year, there was so many piles of dirt, so much happening construction-wise, and that's all being cleared away, and it's looking fantastic.
Yes, it is actually. We're really excited with the presentation we'll be able to deliver for the Australian Open next week, and it's a great redevelopment we're going through, and I think our fans will really enjoy what we're being able to present for them.
It's always an exciting 2 weeks. Hopefully the weather, fingers crossed, the weather can stay dry. We've had plenty of rain obviously all over the country, affecting all of the lead-up events so far. Hopefully it doesn't affect qualifying at Melbourne Park too much over the next couple of days, and you hope for dry weather, but the positive is at least you'll be able to get matches through with courts with 2 roofs on them. Absolutely.
We'll certainly use those roofs in our indoor courts as well to get the qualifying through. So we'll be comfortable with that, and the challenge is what is the weather going to give us over the next 2 weeks. That's really the key.
It's just the complete unknown. It's something you can't control. You can control everything else.
Well, even then you can't often control everything, but look, the weather last year was fantastic. We had 653,000 people through the gate, and it was our best ever Australian Open off the back of fantastic weather. And hopefully this year we'll get some good, the same weather or even better again. So we're looking at the long-range forecast, which is telling us it's unpredictable.
Well, that's not what you want. Get a refund on your prediction.
We don't want that, but it's all across Australia right now. Everywhere I've been, it's raining, so yep. It's unbelievable.
Good backhand from Groth up the line this time. She serves out, or aims to serve out this first set. Ticket indications, no doubt they'd be pointing towards a similar crowd to last year, if not better.
We're on par with our ticket sales from last year, and very strong in the second week of Rod Laver, which is our primary stadium.
Yep.
And the demand for a quality product like the Australian Open is still there, so it's very encouraging.
Good finish by Groth, working her way into the nets. Do you get much of a chance over the 2 weeks to actually have a look at any of the tennis? I'd imagine you'd be pretty busy over the fortnight looking after things.
Yes, I am very busy over the fortnight of the Australian Open looking after things. In fact, last year I had a bet with myself, which was when I would see the first ball live struck, which was in that case last year the second Thursday. So
wow.
12 days into the tournament, I hadn't even been to have a look at a live ball struck. So given there's 700 screens that we install around the precinct to make the Australian Open happen, I'm never short of actually seeing what's going on. It's just a matter of
when you get to actually sit in the stands and enjoy it.
Yes.
Set points now for Groth. And still has one more opportunity to take out this first set. Always amazed by the maintenance and tournament staff here, how quickly they're able to get the court transformed from being absolutely soaked to what it is here at the moment. It looks a picture.
This would be arguably the most picturesque court in the world. There's another one in Monte Carlo that's pretty good, but this would rival that.
Great rally, Paszek lifting, saving 2 set points. It certainly is. The view is spectacular, to say the least.
Absolutely. And with a court like this and the latest design in stadium technology, here we sit up in the broadcast centre overlooking this fabulous facility. very privileged.
That's a great winner from Paszek up the line. Stepping into the court. It's now a break point to get this back to 5 games all. Done by Groth. What's your favourite part about the Australian Open? If you don't get to see a ball struck until the second Thursday, what do you enjoy most about the 2 weeks?
The end of it. Look, that's probably a bit of a joke, but it's a fantastic event. I really enjoy seeing the fans get involved, looking after the players, seeing all of our staff, 4,500 staff, contribute. It's just a real buzz, end to end. Having said that, there's many challenges that go on during the weeks, the 2 weeks of the Open, and sometimes you're glad that it's all over in the end.
Set point again for Groth. Just missing again. Been close to that line a couple of times on the backhand side. A lot of the top players at the moment, Steve, are practicing down at Rod Laver Arena and the outside courts. It's where the anticipation starts to build when the big names start making their way down.
Absolutely, yes. We had Roger and Rafa down there, and I think Venus was over there. So it's all happening down there at the moment, and particularly with the rain they had today, put extra pressure on the indoor courts and the stadium courts, and so pretty exciting build up to the Australian Open.
Now another set point here for Yamila Groth. Can she take it out this time? Match in progress, 43 minutes. Good touch by Yamila Groth to take out the set. 6 games to 4. Great work by the Australian. Tough first sets, but she's managed to get through. So, Steve Wood, the CEO of Tennis Australia, joining me in the commentary position tonight, enjoying the view amongst everything else. And we look forward to the Australian Open getting underway next week. So many innovations happening online as well. We know Twitter and Facebook, and I'm still learning both of those technologies, so just bear with me here. But we also have, for the Australian Open, there's the official iPhone app, there's the iPad application. There's been a complete overhaul of the Australian Open website.
And the tennis.com website as well.
So fans can get closer than they ever have before. There's live streaming going on of the lead-up, obviously here at the Marilla Hobart International, but also the qualifying events as well. The pre-match press conferences. There's been this huge shift towards this technology by the tournament, which is fantastic.
We're very proud of that. Now, our team, led by Darren Pearce, have been very innovative and creative and aggressive in that area, and we've invested heavily. We'll be live streaming the qualifying.
Yep, which starts tomorrow.
For the first time, and the exciting part about that is that that's actually, in fact, the second largest tournament in Australia. Larger than Sydney and Brisbane and Hobart in terms of size, in terms of our investment as Tennis Australia in that event. And we'll be live streaming that around the world, and the players between sort of 100 and 200 in the world will be playing in the qualifying, and we'll be following them around the courts doing that live stream. We're very excited. Yeah,
it certainly will be. That gets underway tomorrow on the Australian Open website if you want to catch the action in between matches here at the Marilla Hobart International, of course. Keep our viewership up. Paszek serving, first game, second sets. That won't impress Yamila. The wind has dropped off. Ideal night for tennis. A little bit on the cool side.
Perfect night for tennis.
Such a huge event, the Australian Open. We've talked about the technology side and what happens on the court, but off the court there's a heap of stuff going on. It's almost an event within the event, the entertainment that happens on Grand Slam Oval in particular. And this year, imagine going to bigger heights.
Yes, well, our theme this year is take it to a whole new level. And up until now, we've been talking about this is your sort of ticket to the world and where the world comes to play, and making sure that we promoted that this was the world's event, and now we want to take it to a whole new level, and Grand Slam Oval's pivotal to that, which is where the public entertainment is, and we have a lot of rock bands and entertainment on there with the giant screens, and it's a whole sort of happy feel about the Australian Open, which is part of what it's known for.
Well, it's popular Grand Slam Oval, in particular with the after five ground pass holders who can just kick back and relax with friends and see the action on the big screen. There's a concert on every night as well, and even that's great value, an entertainment package in itself. Yeah,
we're told that our ground pass is the best value ticket in Australian entertainment, and the after five in particular, which is $19, is very well respected in terms of the value it delivers, and we get a huge crowd. We get monstrous crowds coming down and enjoying the concerts after five, and the whole Grand Slam Oval experience.
But even for the finals as well, when there's no action happening on the outside courts, it's quite popular. You still have people coming through the turnstiles and just sitting around in Garden Square or out on Grand Slam Oval and just soaking up the atmosphere, even though they may not be able to get a ticket onto centre court.
Absolutely. We have a huge crowd that come along to support the finals and sit on Grand Slam Oval, and we've got the deck chairs out there and the Jacobs Creek Wine Bar and the Heineken Bar and everything going on with the bands and so on. It's a great environment and very well patronised.
Break point for Yamila Groth in the opening game of the second sets. And just handed to her by Paszek. It's her fourth double fault for the match. The break is on, opening game of the second set. So you mentioned you're off to Adelaide tomorrow on your road show around there. The event that's on, they're featuring it's the Legends event.
Yes, it's the World Tennis Challenge, and John McEnroe, Ivan Lendl, Pat Cash, and a number of other legends are there, mixing in with a number of current day players. And they've got a nice little setup there that puts that program together, and very well looked after by the fans who come along in droves over there. So it's a great event that I'm looking forward to going and see. I like to go and see all of the events that we coordinate and look after, and that'll be the final one. I'll go back to Kooyong and have a look at that one, and then on Friday we'll do the draw for the Australian Open, and look forward to the next 2 weeks after that at the Grand Slam.
We talk about stadiums with plenty of history. Memorial Drive.
Yes.
That court could talk.
That court could talk, yes. I think we're heading towards upgrading that, actually. We're been very successful across Australia at upgrading the facilities. Here is an example of one of those here in Hobart. I was in Brisbane a few days ago. That's been recently upgraded. And of course Melbourne Park's going through an $800 million redevelopment. And the other one that's happening at the moment is in Perth, where the multi-purpose stadium's being built for the benefit of Hopman Cup. So there's a lot going on for tennis stadia across Australia, which is great news, and I think Adelaide's sort of next in line to get something going there with Memorial Drive.
Well, not so much as those centres, but also you've been investing in regional areas too. The Cairns complex, where the Davis Cup tie was held earlier this year, that has been redeveloped as well.
Yes, absolutely. Look, Tennis Australia have contributed to the investment that has put 1,000 new courts across Australia in the last couple of years, and we're targeting 74 regional centres, 29 of which have been built, but one of them was the one in Cairns that we played Davis Cup at recently. So we really need to get the right facilities in place to continue to grow the sport and make it an attractive proposition for people to choose to enjoy tennis. And that's what we're doing with the regional development facilities, and an example was Cairns recently, where we played Davis Cup.
40-15 now for Groth. Couple of game points to go to a 2-love lead in this second set. Junior development is obviously an important aspect of your role at Tennis Australia. How much leverage do you take off a Grand Slam like the Australian Open and all the lead-up events in the other state capitals to really kick-start that junior development at a local level?
Well, we take lots. That's really the key to our business, that all of our surplus that we generate, particularly from the Australian Open, which by the way has doubled in size commercially over the last 5 years, to this year being about $160 million in turnover. We take the proceeds from that and invest them directly in tennis, and we're investing about $31 million right now directly into tennis, and that's kind of exciting. We've got 55 tennis community tennis offices around Australia, and those guys go out into the field and work up programs with local clubs and associations, and that's what it's really all about, getting to the grassroots and making it happen.
It really is a good time to do it too, when the eyes of the world are on Melbourne Park, in particular for the 2 weeks, the events, and that there's no AFL or NRL to contend with at this time of the year. You've got really a captive audience to work with to try and encourage them to come across to the game.
Well, absolutely. We've got that in Australia, and not only that, our worldwide broadcasting rights are increasing rapidly off the back of the clean air that we have at the back end of January, where there's not much competition with other sports. It's winter in the Northern Hemisphere, and we're here in summer, although sometimes you wonder about that right now. And it means that we get we're getting great leverage off our international broadcast rights, and taking the sport of tennis to the world, and particularly the Australian Open.
And then obviously the economic benefits that flow from that too for Melbourne and also Australia.
Correct, and then of course what we do is invest them back in the sport. We've got 220,000 kids enrolled in our Hot Shots program, which is our modified equipment program with the softballs and the mini rackets that make all that happen. And it's pretty exciting to think that a year ago we were just setting up, and here we are. A year later, we've got 220,000 kids enrolled in our program to have an experience in tennis.
And also the academies on top of that have been set up. We were talking to a couple of folks down here in Tasmania about the Tennis Tasmania set up, and this venue also doubles as the state academy and the young players that are coming through, and that's being replicated in each state around Australia as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got academies in each state, and another one in Spain with Felix Mantilla, a former top 10 player of Spanish heritage. He's working that program for us and having a lot of success over there. So we've really got the right resources in place with our Hot Shots program, with our national academies, with the tennis coach membership program with Tennis Australia, and of course the Australian Open performing so well as a commercial entity. It really starts to drive the sport, and that's really the key that I'm certainly focused on, and our management team are quite proud of the success we've had so far, and we're looking forward to more success coming forward with this next Australian Open coming up next week.
Now Groth holding there for a 2-love lead. Have you done much commentary over your time as CEO?
Not really, no, Peter. That's not my not my natural habitat. But I'm happy to be here with you tonight and sitting up here in this fantastic broadcast area, looking over the this court. We're very privileged.
We certainly are, and we're witnessing a good match here. Fairly even for the most part. Groth getting out to a good lead here in this second set. This could be a good audition time for you, that when your stint as CEO comes to an end, just slide into the commentary box.
Good on you. Well, normally my interaction with the media is in some sort of crisis position where we've got something going wrong. And
this should be easy then.
I have to face the media, and yes, it's a little bit more. Oh, that's a fantastic shot by Jarka there. Ripped that forehand down the line. Her return of serve is something special.
It certainly is, and it's on show tonight, stepping in, really attacking Paszek's serve.
You know, if she serves well, Jarka, she can be very dangerous, but her serve, as we all know, can go off, and I think she served 4 doubles in the first set.
Yep.
And that ball toss gets a little bit forward and drops a little bit low, and next thing you know, she's double faulting, but if she gets her serve going well, and that return that we just saw a second ago, and those ground strokes, particularly that backhand cross court like the one we're seeing there, and she moves well. Look, she's got good speed. She's very dangerous. That's why she beat Sam Stosur last week, and she won the tournament up in Guangzhou, up in China.
Yeah, well, dropped 15 games for the tournament.
Yeah, what happened to her is she got herself really fit. She's been working with a fitness trainer, coach guy, Gavin Hopper. You'll see on her right foot, she's still wearing an ankle brace off a very bad injury she had 2 years back, but she's come back from that, and I think she's fitter than ever, and you can see that tonight where she's moving around. You saw that there. She stepped in on the second serve and really put the pressure on that serve and milked out that double fault from her opponent. And here we go with break point. Actually, that's not break point.
Game point.
Game point. But she's certainly putting the pressure on here.
Yeah, did well, Paszek there. Wrong footing, Groth to hold. 2-1. I think you're passing the audition.
Right. Well, thank you. Maybe on that note, I might have a rest.
All right. Great to see you as always. Best of luck with the tournament next week, and also the tournament in Adelaide tomorrow. We hope it all goes off well. It certainly is a wonderful 2 weeks here in Australia, and the leverage that you can get from that, in particular for junior tennis, is so important. So well done on that.
Thanks, Peter, and all the best to you for the live streaming and all the work we're going to do at the Australian Open qualifying. So,
Looking forward to it.
Really appreciate all the work that you and your team have been doing to bring this to the world.
Now, if you could just get Darren Pearce to stick on the headphones for about 10 minutes, that'd be fantastic.
Right, well, see what I can do.
You can order him to do it. Steve Wood, the CEO of Tennis Australia, joining us here on our live streaming coverage. Again, just pressing too hard, Groth. She's going for the lines. Really doesn't need to be hitting those lines. She's getting plenty of depth on her ground strokes. Ball clipping the net. Another double fault. That's the 5th double fault for Groth in this match. Serve 3 aces. First serve percentage sitting at 71%, which is good. But she's only winning 48% of those points. Always nice when you can balance out a double fault with an ace. That's her 4th for the match. Another one close to the line. Another change up in the serve. So Groth now with the game point. And again, the double fault. Really pressing. Knows that Paszek is looking to play the same aggressive tactic as what Groth is employing, really stepping into the court. Again, we just see that first serve followed up so nicely. The short reply, able to move forward, but also get into position quickly. Give himself enough time to stop and then hit the backhand. So Groth with another game point. Just a first serve will do it. Winning 46% of her points on the second serve. And she gets that one and holds. Still has the break in this second set, 3-1. When she reviews this match, that will be the shot that will be analysed. So aggressive, Yaka, when coming forward. Should mention too, Yamila's husband Sam is involved in Australian Open qualifying tomorrow. We'll have the qualifying highlights for you in just a moment. Another loose shot there from Groth. Sam Groth to play Laurent Rocher from France in round number 1 of the qualifying. In the top half of the qualifying singles draw. Too good, you could hear there from Groth. Terrific backhand up the line by Paszek. She's really worked her way into this match despite being down a break. And so Paszek holds. Groth still with the break though in this second set, 3-2.
Bring all 6 in first, okay?
So Groth still with a break in this second set, and she's out very quickly from the chair. Just the big names just keep on coming here at the Marilla Hobart International. And Elena Baltasha last night. We've had Steve Wood already in for this match, and just taking it up a step again, Darren Pearce, who's the Director of Media Communications. Is that your official title?
That'll do, mate. That'll do.
Welcome along.
Glad to be here and glad to see Yaka really putting on a good show here too.
You are as well travelled as Steve Wood, having to travel around all the different events and no doubt enjoying them as well. Certainly was a great week up in Brisbane.
Oh, it was superb. Great tennis. The men's final was terrific. The women's tennis was good. It's a great facility, as is this, and it's a good way to open up the summer.
Another winner for Groth.
She really looks sharp now and getting on top in this second set. It's good to see.
Stamping her authority on this match, as she did in her first round match with Joanna Larson. Overhitting there, Groth. Give us, in under 30 words or less, an outline of your role at Tennis Australia, please.
Well, thanks for that.
I thought I'd start with an easy question first.
Well, we have a communications team, and my role is to be part of that and to lead that. And that involves communicating the great things about tennis, the sport, and about the events and our players and all of that. So it's wide and varied in how we do that. And I heard you guys talking a bit about social networking and about what we're doing here, broadcasting and publishing and publicity, and just hold on a moment.
And come on, Paszek lifting. Break points.
Critical moment. And so really we're promoting the sport and all the good things that go with it. It's probably the less than 30 words version. Can I just use that last bit? Yes.
Well done, yes. We could put that in a tweet. Break point, Paszek. And now with a good opportunity with this second serve. Really able to step in.
Oh.
But when Yamila Groth can come up with a serve like that.
I think that's a sign of the maturity of Yaka now and showing in the last 12 months, getting confidence from some of those big Grand Slam results at the French and Wimbledon, and you guys talking about a great year she's had, and she can come up with things like that.
Now, I do believe she changed hands there, Yaka, at the end of that point, so did well to get even that level of control on it.
Oh, it's fair to say she's a great talent, and she's been doing that for a lot of years. When she reaches for that backhand, can't quite make it, and looks for the extra 6 inches in extension like she did there, and nearly made it.
So the break is back for Paszek. 3 games all now in the second sets. We talked about the social networking and the website side of things. AustralianOpen.com has had a makeover in the past 12 months, and so many new initiatives and so many things to do on the website. It's been a real transformation.
Yeah, and it's a great credit to the team behind it and in partnership with IBM who work with all the slams and with our team working around the 12 months to do what they do every year. And it's fair to say it's one of the leading sites in world sport, and pretty much you can follow the event comprehensively by just staying on that site, as we would recommend.
Of course. We also recommend you buy tickets to the event too if you're in Australia.
Of course, yes. I'm thinking if you're not in Australia and not following it on your host broadcaster in your country and that sort of thing, but the great thing with the website is the interactivity, the Facebook and Twitter stuff and the variety too. It's not just purely results.
Well, if you hashtag AUS Open, AUS Open, there's a chance that you might actually get onto the front page of the website. And gets the luck this time, Paszek, with a couple of lucky breaks in the first set, and it's starting to go the other way.
Some great hitting, though. These girls have been waiting around for a while to get on court, and now you feel they're really getting into their stride.
There's also, if you are going to the tennis, you can follow the Australian Open on the official iPhone app. Now, I don't own an iPhone, so I'm not totally all over the app situation.
Well, it's fair to say it's built specifically for the device, as we have with an iPad app as well, and these things all have their own unique use and their features, and worth a look if you do happen to own an iPhone.
But you can look at m.australianopen.com if you don't, which is directly suited to your mobile. And of course on that iPhone app you can get AO Radio, which is streamed live every day across the web to our many thousands of listeners.
Heard there's some good commentary going on there too.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, let's have a look at the lineup.
There's some voices I think people listening to this may recognise. One in particular.
That's right, Craig Willis does some amazing work on AO Radio. So Groth has the break back now, 4-3 in this second set. And just continuing on this line about the website, this is something that has taken many months to produce, and anyone who knows how to put together even a basic website knows that when you get to designing things you need to work out the right layout, and then what are you going to have on the website, and then the positioning and all that sort of stuff. With this, because it's got so much packed into it, I imagine it would have taken such a long time to get this site right.
This is the culmination of a year's work since the end of the Open last year. A team of very talented people working with IBM and putting it together. Has the benefit of the experience of the 3 preceding slams, what worked, what didn't, and with a unique Australian flavour, and that's the end product. And it's fair to say we're pretty proud of it. And there'll be more than 10 million unique visitors this year.
It's incredible the amount of usage that the website can generate. And in order to have a good website, as we've seen with many of the great websites around the world, you need to offer that level of interactivity, photos, audio, video, all of those different aspects are just so important in keeping people coming back to the website.
You're creating an event experience online now. It's no longer confined to the site or to the TV.
So Groth now, 4-3. And it's something that Tennis Australia has been at the forefront of. We've been able to recognise early how important it is to have that online presence and that interactivity and that event experience for all these people who are tech savvy. Unlike my good self, who doesn't own an iPhone and struggles on the Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, the man you had in his seat just before, the CEO of Tennis Australia, should take a lot of credit for that. He's got a lot of foresight in that space and has helped drive a lot of the advancement in that space. So full credit to him. And we're not about to stop, by the way. Oh,
terrific from Groth. Pulled way out of court. It's a low percentage shot going back up that line, but nailed it beautifully.
We talked about her maturity before, and that seventh game, breaking again in that seventh game, just asserting her dominance in this match. Not sure she would have always done that in the last few years in her career, but she's just grown as a player, especially the last 12 months.
And now she's heading towards victory, it would seem here.
The Australian coach has been talking about Yarka for a good 5 years, and there's been all those injuries, but she's just such a talent, and I think they're being justified well and truly now with sort of doing what has sort of been almost expected.
Yep. Game points here for Groth. You go to 5 games to 3 lead. And if the Italian Fed Cup team are watching this, they'd be slightly worried. Just missing Paszek up the line. Good serving by Groth. 5 games to 3 now. Paszek serving to stay in the match. Fed Cup tie here at this venue, the Domain Tennis Centre, in the first week of February after the Australian Open bandwagon rolls on, the tour goes on, the Fed Cup comes back down to Hobart, and a bonus for the people of Tasmania.
Oh, of course, this will be after Sam Stosur wins the Australian Open, we hope, and comes down to celebrate that victory with a Fed Cup win against Italy. Superb venue for Fed Cup. We're really looking forward to it. It'll be sensational. And the Australians have named a very deep squad too, I noticed.
Yep, there's plenty in that squad, plenty of talent in that squad. You'll see next week in the Australian Open.
Nice shot.
Set up nicely for Paszek on the backhand. So the top players have made their way down to Melbourne. So I was chatting to Steve Wood about Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, Andy Murray. They're all there now. And just the anticipation continues to build. What's your favourite part about the Open?
I actually think this week is, which sounds bizarre to people who are saying, what are you talking about? The tennis hasn't even started. But for us, in our area, it's a combination of a lot of work, and all the big guns are coming into town, and it all starts to be realised, and it's just a great time. The players are happy, and it's sort of holiday time. They're fresh. They've come off their break, their end of season break, and it's just a really good environment to be in.
So Paszek holds. Groth will come out to serve for the match at 5 games to 4 in the second set. Should also mention, while we have this juncture, it's not just about the online stuff that's going on. You can actually, wherever you are watching around the world, you are able to be a part of the Changing Ends Film Festival for 2011, which is given the slogan of Take Two. This is the second year it's been happening. And all you need to do is upload a short film about tennis, no longer than 90 seconds duration, which will be the time it takes to change ends.
Yes, this is the brainchild of our digital manager, Kim Trengove, and it was a real success last year. And there's some really great filmmakers out there that also have a love of tennis, and their creativity is on show. And again, the entries are flooding in, and there's again some clever stuff coming in, and stay looking online a lot of those entries is some really entertaining stuff there.
Yep, so the theme is take two, but you've got to combine it with tennis as well. It's part of the judging criteria. Now, the entries will be shown across the giant screens at the Australian Open, but also up on the Changing Ends website, changingends.com.au. 5,000 Australian dollars is first prize, and a People's Choice Award of 2,500 Australian dollars will be awarded.
5,000 Australian dollars. That's roughly 5,000 American dollars.
That is correct. Not bad, the exchange rate at the moment. So all the details of how you can be a part of that and all the different requirements, changingends.com.au is the website. So send your entries in. Entries are free.
That was a big point. That gives Yaka 30 love looking to serve out the match.
And again, we see a player that's waiting for a call. It's been a trend that we've seen over the tournament so far, particularly without the use of Hawkeye. It's been particularly prominent. So we're back to 15 all. By the way, the Changing Ends take two. If you want to see the promotional video by someone who takes to a camera quite well, Paul Kildare, and of course Samantha Stoser, but I think the film's about Killer. That's
Paul
on
Kildare,
the website.
obviously Sam Stoser's manager, and brings a lot of light into her life, it's fair to say.
Good Fremantle Dockers supporter too for in the Australian rules football. As the double faults have racked up for Emilie Groth throughout this match. And she is up to double fault number 8. .49% of first serves in for Emilie Groth in this match.
Yeah, she went for it again on that second serve, and it's fair to say she's been going very aggressively on the second serve, which probably accounts for that 9 double faults. But the door just opening a bit for Paszek.
Nicely done. Well constructed point by Emilie Groth to get it back to deuce. And Paszek is quite fit herself. She's played a couple of qualifying matches here, so
And dominated them. She's an informed player, so this is no easy match for Yaka.
so another break point now for Paszek. And there it is. So the break is on.
Just a bit too eager on that forehand, and Yaka will never die wondering, and certainly didn't, but a bit too hard and pulled it into the net.
So we're at 5 games all now in the second set. This is a second round match at the Marula Hobart International. Marula, fantastic supporters of this event.
They are. Have you sampled some of their fine product?
No, you're the wonderful people here haven't brought it up to me as I've been commentating.
It is available for purchase.
Of course. And, on the way home, I will make sure I grab a bottle or two of the fine wine that's on offer. But in the meantime, since I can't get out, almost. Getting to the change up from Groth.
She hasn't, even on the drop shot she's got right, they've sometimes pushed a bit long. She hasn't quite got the feel on those tonight, I've noticed.
Yeah, they've been fairly hit and miss. She had one good one in the first set. Just a way to try and break up the play from heavy ground strokes both players are employing. As the breeze picks up again. And so Paszek has got the momentum in this second set, and she really has just been grinding away at the back of the court.
Yeah, when we were talking about the drop shot before, I certainly don't question the choice of the shot. It's just the execution sometimes hasn't been how she'd like it. Oh, there's that left hand.
Wow. Ambidextrous players in tennis.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever tried to do that? That is not easy.
I struggle with my dominant hand. I'm just trying to think of ambidextrous tennis players. I can only think of one at the moment. Paszek now is growing in confidence.
She's actually served pretty well in this game, and the point Yaka won was a crazy shot, and it's been a very solid service game thus far.
Player in question, remember the Jensen brothers in doubles?
Oh yes, yes.
Murphy Jensen, I think, was ambidextrous. Just missing again, Groth. Paszek holds and leads for the first time in this set, first time in this match, 6-5. Yeah, Murphy played with his brother Luke on the tour. Sort of the forerunner to the Bryan brothers, really.
They were.
In terms of their style and the way they went about it on court. Had plenty of success. And I'm pretty sure it was Murphy who could play left-handed and right-handed.
Bandana, was he the one with the bandana?
Yes.
Yes, I do recall. That'd make him hell to try and pass at the net, wouldn't it?
It would. Well, it made it tricky for him to decide what hand to play with any particular time. And I think that's about all I can think of in terms of professional tennis players from over the years. I'll have to go and have a look at my history books overnight, see if I can come up with that stat for
research,
tomorrow.
Yes.
Bring that to the table. Now, Groth, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, is already back out.
Yeah, I get the feeling she's pushing harder and harder with some of those shots. That last backhand over the line, some of the forehands in those rallies, she's really hitting hard, and Paszek just getting them back, staying in the points and waiting for the errors.
So just waiting now. Paszek will make her wait.
Breeze has almost dropped off entirely down there, so it's good conditions for tennis now. We've had to wait, but it's been worth the wait.
Certainly has for this crowd tonight.
Oh,
Beautiful from Groth. Just hammering the short ball up the line.
there's been a few times when that change of direction using the backhand going up the line hasn't worked for her, but she will still go to it, still hitting it very confidently.
And that's the important thing too, that we talked about Paszek and how her confidence has grown in the last couple of games, but Yamila Groth hasn't dropped in those last couple of games. So Groth holds to love, and we're off to a tiebreaker now in this second set.
And that'll do a lot of good after, looking like she was going to be serving at the match and then having to serve to stay in it. to serve it out to Love is a good way to go into the tie break.
Neither player giving an inch there, and there was that big forehand from Groth.
It was, and it was
set up
nice
that
and
point.
deep, wasn't it? Nice and deep.
So 1-0. As the mini break. Now the confidence continues to grow. Roy Miller-Groth.
Set that one up again with a good forehand deep. She's really going for the lines.
And again set up by a big first serve. There was nothing Paszek could do about that. So consolidating the mini break, 3 points to 0 in this tiebreaker. After Groth took the first 6 games to 4. Reminder about our matches on tomorrow. Sara Irani is taking on Alicia Mollick in our first match on centre court after a rain-affected day. Tough for Alicia there against the number 7 seed, but she showed in her first round match she can match it with the best.
We've
Great
talked
touch.
about that drop shot, and what a time to come up with the best drop shot of the match. That was very clever. Paszek well back on the court.
Good touch. Good disguise as well. She did take the racket back that time, but just slowly brought it forward. Just gave it enough air to get over the net. So the other matches, Morita versus Matek Sands, complete the day session. And that's too good from Paszek. Great time to come up with that serve. Paszek's 4th ace for the match. Almost got there. Full stretch, Groth, way out of position.
Yeah, I'm not sure she even deserved to get that.
Paszek was waiting at the net though, has to be said.
The sort of ball you hope will just roll along the tape and just abseil down.
Just drop. We saw that at the Hopman Cup a couple of times last week. In the Djokovic-Hewitt match, I think it was, where it actually bounced on the net twice and then rolled across.
It's amazing how many times it happens.
And it's something you can't practice.
No, and you just give the obligatory
Yeah,
sorry wave, but
the,
you happily take the point.
The token sorry. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of it.
Well, the player can't win. How bad do they look if they don't do it? Oh, that's a big shot.
And that was just maybe a centimetre or two short. Paszek getting around to the ball on that backhand side. Got to get up the line, plenty of power. So the gap closes.
Back on serve now.
So So 4 points all, and it's still anyone's match. Groth has been the aggressor throughout, but as we've seen the last couple of games, Paszek just working her way back in.
That's 4 points straight to Paszek now.
So we continue on serve. Great fight back from Tamira Paszek. Very experienced player. Has been on the tour for a number of years now. Been into the top 30. Better from Groth, but again constructed off that first serve.
Even the points she's winning, she's now being made to work really hard for. That's, I think, why the match has tightened up. That and Pacek's first serve percentage, I imagine, has gone up a lot. That's a great shot. And that was good serving from Yaka as well.
So now it brings up match point for Yamila Groth, but it is on the Paszek serve. We've been in progress 1 hour and 42 minutes.
So where do you go with this? The forehand or the backhand?
At the body. Particularly if Groth is moving forward. She's looking to go out wide on that first serve. Boy, there's some pressure now on this second serve. Groth will step in. And there it is. It was a hard-fought second set, but Yamila Groth from Australia gets through to the quarterfinals of the Marilla Hobart International. A straight sets winner over Tamira Paszek of Austria. 6-4, 7-6 in 1 hour and 43 minutes.